In 1983, Milwaukeean Sonya Robinson used her outstanding talent at playing the violin to win the title of Miss Black America. Recently, she came back home for the release of her fourth CD. We sat and talked at the top of the Pfister Hotel just before her show. Well, you and I haven't talked since you won the Miss Black America pageant.
Yes.
We won't mention the year.
Oh, thank you.
but we know what year it was. And that was very exciting for you. But that was sort of the beginning of a career in music.
Right.
Did you expect, after you won that title, to be a professional musician, or did you expect that it was going to fade away and you were going to do something else?
You know what? I didn't know what to expect, but the first thing for me is my love for music. So whether I'm playing professionally or not playing professionally, music would have always been a really big, important part of it. And so I've always been drawn to great musicians. I always go and hear a lot of musicians. Went to Marcellus, and he was impressed with the beauty pageant thing. I was like, okay, all right, I'll go with that.
Lots of kids would like to be professional musicians like you. How do they do it?
Practice. What is that old saying about if you want to get to Carnegie Hall, you got to practice, practice, practice. That's probably the first thing. I think a lot of us have a love for it. A lot of us don't always necessarily have that spark or that thing that really gets it. So sometimes we can compensate by just putting in the extra work. For example, I got to work in the studio where the owner is friends with George Benson, and he tells me that George Benson practices 6 hours a day. And I'm like, this man is brilliant. Why is he still practicing? But there's something about that drive. So you really have to, A, love it, love practicing, and be willing to expect the unexpected. Because some of us hit, some of us don't.
I know you wrote one song for your mother. Did she like it?
Well, unfortunately, my mother passed before, and she had told me, Sonya, please write a song for me. I said, okay, Mother, I'll get to it. And circumstances, well, I know my mother's watching down on me because my life has just been too blessed lately. So I know that there's a lot of my family and my ancestors taking a peek and just guiding me along on this process. But yeah, she didn't get to hear it, but I think she would really be honored.
What lesson did you learn from procrastinating and not doing it in time?
Well, let's say I think every song that I wrote honors my family. So it didn't necessarily, I'm like, Mom, don't worry about it. I mean, not every musician writes a song for their family. And I know she asked me, and maybe I was being selfish, but now like I said, I just felt the need to actually complete these things. My mother asked, so I had to answer.
Does it take a long time to make an album?
I see other people doing stuff, and if you're not in it, you can't win it. I'm sorry, that's a corny phrase. But the other one is you just have to do it. So if you don't do the project and either succeed or fail and succeed. Whatever that process is, you just have to keep doing it.
If you weren't playing the violin, what would you do?
I think, I don't know, I might have to give up the ghost because it's just, it's so ingrained in me. I've been playing since I was 9 years old, so, and that's the way I hear things. The way I write is for my instrument. The way I think is for my instrument. The way I hear is for my instrument. So that's a good question. I think I'll have to expand myself a little bit more just in case if I couldn't do that.
Maybe you'd want to teach?
I am teaching. I've been teaching for 17 years. I've done elementary, middle, and high school, and I love it.
What's the most fun?
What you get back and what you give. I mean, the process is always a give and take, and I've learned so much from teaching young children, and they're so sweet.
Are you glad to be home?
Every time I come back to Milwaukee, I realize that, number one, I live in New York, and it's extremely hectic there. It's in the air, everybody's frazzled, nobody has time to stop and smell the roses or talk to their friends or go hang out and enjoy good food. I mean, they go out, but everything's for a reason. And in Milwaukee, it's just nice to know that you can really be relaxed here and still get things done. The tempo is just a little slower, which is sweet. So I love it. I love it. I'm thinking about moving back here.
That was going to be my next question. Will you ever move back here?
I've been seriously thinking about it, but not right now.
And that's Black Nouveau for this week. I'm Joanne Williams. Thanks for joining us. Good night.